April 12, 1961. The world stood still. Yuri Gagarin had returned from the heavens, a living god of the Soviet machine. But as the parades marched through Red Square, a chilling question began to circulate in the shadows of the West. Was Gagarin really the first, or was he simply the first to survive? In the 1960s, the space race wasn't just about science. It was about survival. It was about proving that one ideology was superior to the other. In that desperate sprint to the stars, the Soviet Union followed a singular, brutal rule. Success is public. Failure is a state secret. Tonight, we peel back the lead shield of the Iron Curtain. We listen to the heartbeats that officially never beat. We look into the eyes of the men and women who were airbrushed out of history books. This is the dark, silent record of the Lost Cosmonauts. Our story doesn't begin in a Russian bunker, but in a private attic in Turin, Italy. Meet Achille and Giovanni Judica-Cordiglia. They were amateur radio experts with a terrifyingly effective talent. They had built a listening post capable of intercepting secret Soviet transmissions. On November 28, 1960, the brothers were scanning the frequencies when they hit a click. It wasn't a code, it wasn't a beep, it was a heartbeat. A human heartbeat, struggling 400 miles above the earth. The brothers stared at their oscilloscope. The rhythm was erratic. It was the sound of someone in extreme distress, someone who was dying in the void. The Soviet Union announced no launch that day. Officially, space was empty, but the brothers had recorded a soul drifting away in the silence. This was the first phantom of the space race. 6 months later, May 1961, the brothers were back in the attic. They caught a signal so haunting it would stay with them for the rest of their lives. It was a woman's voice, crying out in Russian.
"Listen, listen, come in. I am hot. I see a flame. Is it going to crash?"
Her voice was high-pitched, panicked. She wasn't a trained pilot giving a report. She was a human being, watching her world melt around her. She talked about the heat increasing. She asked if the ground could hear her. Then the signal turned to static. The screaming cosmonaut was gone. The USSR maintained that they didn't send a woman into space until 1963. If that's true, whose voice was on that tape? Who was Ludmila? And why was she left to burn alone in the atmosphere? The skeptics say these tapes are hoaxes, but the Soviet archives, opened decades later, tell a different story. They tell the story of the Sochi 6, a group of elite pilots chosen to conquer the stars. Look at this photo. In the original, there is a man named Grigoriy Nelyubov. He was supposed to be the third man in space, but after an incident, he was dismissed, not just from the program, but from history. In the official version of this photo, released to the public, Nelyubov is gone, just a patch of empty grass where a hero once stood. Then there's Valentin Bondarenko.
He died in a horrific fire during a high-pressure oxygen test. For 26 years, the Soviet Union acted as if Bondarenko never existed. They didn't just hide the death, they deleted the man. If they could delete men on the ground, what would stop them from deleting a man who drifted too far into the void? Some theories suggest that several cosmonauts are still up there, frozen, preserved by the vacuum of space, drifting in an orbit that will last for thousands of years, a secret graveyard orbiting the very planet that forgot them. We may never know the names of all the lost cosmonauts. Their records were burned, their families silenced, and their voices lost to the static. But the tapes in the Italian attic remain, a haunting reminder that the road to the stars is paved with the bodies of those who weren't allowed to fail.
The files are open, but the truth remains hidden. If you want to help us uncover the stories they tried to erase, subscribe to Grim Lore. Join us in the darkness. The next investigation begins soon.